Hey, this is Pure, and today we're going to do a review of this guitar. This is the Ibanez Gio GRX70QA TBS. And so, Ibanez has always had this weird naming convention for their guitars. So first, it's a Geo, which means that it's part of their affordable line of Geo guitars. So that's really the G is for Geo. The RX, that's for the RX series. Now before it started with the RS, the Roadstar series, and then it became RG, the Roadstar guitar, but later on just became RG. Then the RX is supposed to be the affordable version of the RG, and it's now even more affordable with the Geo prefix, so GRX. I'm not sure what the Z70 means, and definitely the QA is not explained in terms of what the QA is. But I can guess maybe it's supposed to have a uh, quilted maple, so maybe that's where the Q is. But anyway, we'll go through the features later. The cost is in the US, it's around $200. In the Philippines, here it's around 11,000 pesos if you buy it online. Let's go through the features. It has a maple neck, but for the fretboard, it's purple heart. I'm not familiar with that type of wood. I had to look it up, but it's it's decent. It's supposed to be um, durable, which I think is what's important. The frets are medium frets. Number of frets, oops, number of frets is 22. So you see there, this dot is for the 21st fret, and then you have one more, so 22 frets. It does have a tremolo, a T106 type of tremolo. We'll see later on what does that actually mean. The pickups, you've got a humbucker single humbucker configuration, and these are Infinity R types of pickups. They are ceramic pickups, and says here that out of the box it has a uh, nines as the string, and you see here the design. It's not solid black. There's a burst design to it, and they call this a transparent black sunburst, which is really quite awesome in terms of how it looks. The body itself, the finish, the gloss, it is quite good. I like it. And so in terms of the hardware, we've got here um, the volume knob, and we've got the tone knob, and we've got a five-way selector. So in this position, it's the neck pickups, the two uh, the humbuckers. In the second position, we've got single. Third position, it's only the middle single pickup. Fourth position, it's this one and this one, so two single coils but near the bridge. And the fifth position, it's the humbuckers near the bridge. Okay. So in terms of the look of it, it looks good. The body itself. It's the hardware, the some pieces of it that I might have an issue with. So first, let's play some. So I'll max out the volume position 1, And for now, I'm just adding a delay and a reverb. No gain yet. So okay, so those are the neck. So let's try the position number 2. Let's try the middle position. Position number 4. And position number 5. There. So with little gain, now Ibanez guitars are known to be, on the hard side. So let's add some overdrive here. And of course, those who like dive bombing and stuff like that, of course you can do that here. For example, let's do an open G. Now, if that's your thing, then yes, you can dive bomb with this with tremolo. Yeah, in terms of tuning stability, though, you can expect that it will, the tuning will be affected, but that's just part of having this type of system where you do things like modulation by changing the tension of the strings. You can't help that some tuning will be affected, especially for this one where the knot is just plastic. Now it's up to you. You can upgrade this to a bow knot maybe, and a graph tech. Maybe that improves tuning stability. So that's one upgrade you can do. In terms of the other parts here, I do have some issues with it. The first thing, let's do with the minor ones first. The knob for the volume, it is quite tight near the end. So it is roughly smooth, maybe from 0 to 8. And then those last parts, it's really tough. I'm not sure if it's kind of rusted inside and needs some lubrication. So that's one. That happens both for the volume and the tone knob. So it is, in the tone knob, it's tight from the start, loosens up a bit at the end. So it's kind of the opposite of what you've got for the volume. But the real kind of annoying thing for this guitar is the guitar jack input. So, and it's bad, and I really had to replace it because I'll show you here in the other camera. This is what it came with, from the factory. And the problem here is that, and I'll demonstrate that by putting in this plug, there's very little material here in terms of the contact point between the plug and that clip. And you can see here that it's very loose, and so it moves side to side, and it has, of course, as you can expect, results in this awful noise when you're plugged into your amp. Even tried to initially just kind of bend this clip just so there'll be more kind of pressure being applied, but even that, you'll see that there's still a lot of wiggling going on there because there's really not enough material to keep the plug in place. And so I had to, change it myself. I bought a Switchcraft mono plug, and as you can see here, there's a lot more material that would keep the plug in place. And so there's a huge difference with this now, uh, the one I'm using. And you see here that it's very snug. There's no movement this way or that way. So I had to do my own, kind of upgrade to remove this, oval type plate, remove that, and replace it with that new plug. I even had to replace the screws because the screws are kind of very shallow. So I put in there longer screws so that there's a lot more grip on the wood, and so it's a lot more stable now. So it doesn't move, and there's no annoying noise, which happens when the 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 circuit is broken and then reconnects. So it's a very loose plug before, but now it's okay. It's something that I can at least add to my collection and try, stuff like all that, all those things that you can do with a trem, which I not really skilled at doing. So I'm thinking that's something I can learn more, and that's why I added this to my collection. All my other guitars, my Telecaster, SG, uh, 335, and my Les Paul don't have a floating bridge. So that's something new, and that's why I bought this so that I can do some of those techniques. Okay. And for those of you who are were alive in the 80s, you might have noticed what I'm trying to play there was Pretty in Pink. Okay, so I think that's all I can say for this guitar. It's cool looking. The parts are a bit cheap, and you might need to replace some of them. Like what I said, definitely you have to replace this jack. If you're buying it from the store, you might ask them to have it replaced by Audiophile themselves, the distributor here for Ibanez. Or if you have some skills in soldering, then you can do it yourself, just like what I did. The tuning heads also are kind of, how do I show this? Maybe this way. So the tuning heads are kind of generic and not really that smooth, but it holds tuning well enough, I guess. And like I mentioned, the knot, you might want to upgrade that as well. But for the price, it is quite good looking, and really most of the sound that comes from a guitar is from the playing. And for someone like me who's not really an expert and just an enthusiast, I think this suits me, and I don't need to make a big investment yet in terms of this type of uh, more really for a shredder metal rocker, which I'm not, but it's nice to add to the collection. Okay, so if you have any questions, maybe you can post your comments or questions, just in case I can, give you some insight if you're considering buying this guitar. Thank you for watching. Bye.